Welcome to week 2 of Cooking with Jake. We're back again for the first time to give you a little taste of the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois, if it had banged and had an illegitimate child with Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the East Coast city where liberty reigns and Ben Franklin did something with kites. Did he invent kites? There's really no way of knowing his connection to kites. Anyways, we can know, however, the connection that Chicago and Philly have, and it's called Smokin' Jay's Philly Cheesecago Dog. First, we've got to chop about 1/4 of an onion. I prefer sweet onions, but feel free to use whichever kind you prefer. You're allowed to be wrong. About half a green bell pepper. Make sure to clean the guts out of it or it'll taste bitter. I learned that trick from Jeffrey Dahmer. You want these to be about the same size as the onions. Then, get some mushrooms going. I like to buy the pre-cut ones because it smells cleaner and they look weird if they're not cut. Circumcision joke? No? Yes? No? Next, get 2 of your favorite hot dogs and butterfly them. I prefer all beef, but you're allowed to use anything from brats to andouille to chicken links or turkey sausage. Chicago uses hot dogs though, so that's what we're going with. Get a cup and a half of your favorite semi-soft cheese going. I like Gouda for the same reason I like to wear women's underwear, because it makes me feel fancy. Something like provolone, Havarti, or cheddar would do just fine, but those make me feel ugly. Grate into the bowl. Add about 1/4 cup of real Parmesan, not that grated bullshit in the green cans. That's not Parmesan, you ignorant slut. That's poor people dust. Heat a skillet and add some olive oil to it. Dump all the veggies into the skillet like a truck bed of illegals you picked up at Home Depot. And just like illegals, let them sweat it out in there for a little bit while you decide what to do with them. And while they do that, we'll start the cheese sauce. Melt about 1 tablespoon of butter in a small saucepan. If you don't have a saucepan, you could always just use a trip to the nearest store to buy a saucepan, you fucking degenerate, instead. When the butter is melted, add an equal measure of white flour, mixing them together to make a roux, which is basically flour butter paste. Should look like that. You could also go 5 more minutes and make it white. That's French cooking. Don't worry about that. Add a cup or so of warm milk to it and slowly whisk on and off for about 5 minutes. For a thinner sauce, add more milk. For thicker, add more flour. For depression, add bleach. Let that get happy in the pool together and then go back over to the veggies. Add salt and pepper to taste and then dump them into the bowl for later. After you get the milk to a low boil, which means it's bubbling for a little bit, take the milk off the heat and then start stirring in the cheese about 1 handful at a time. Feel free to add it back to the heat if you don't feel like the cheese is melting enough. I like to add salt, pepper, and garlic powder to mine because I have functioning taste buds and I'm better at this than you, but you can do what you want.
Sneaky puppy time. He's a sneaky puppy. No, he saw us. He saw us. No! No!
Heat a cast iron skillet on medium heat and add vegetable oil about 1/4 of an inch depth. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, either go get one or end your meaningless life. Add your butterfly dog's insides facing down into the oil, otherwise they're going to curl up on you. Let those puppies get nice and fried and then flip them over like your roofied prom date. I like to always give them 1 more flip so they get extra crispy, but if that's not your thing, just take the dogs out whenever you prefer them, and then shove your face into the hot oil. Now comes the assembly. The bottom is always the veg blend, then the dogs, then the cheese sauce. Lots of roofied prom date imagery happening here. Traditional yellow mustard on the top bun, some hot yellow pepper rings in the sauce, another dog, pickled tomato wedges, and a sprinkle of celery salt. Yes, celery salt, very important for the official Chicago dog style. Smash it down like you're an 1800s American landowner, and the sandwich is the entire Native American population. Then go ahead and take a big bite, but make sure the actual sandwich doesn't make it into the frame for some added mystery. So fucking delicious.